All right, my Festool router, I want to use this for two reasons. It's got excellent dust collection, and it's got the ability to kind of micro adjust the diameter when I get ready to do that. But here's the problem. These things come with 10 millimeter bars, and if I change that over to a fraction, it's 393. Now my modular bar system that I have with wWodpeckers is 375, so it's slightly undersized. And here's how I can make it work. In here is this wedge, or this bar, that as you tighten the knob down below here, it pulls it down, and then it's got an angled face to it, and then that face will contact a 10 millimeter bar, no problem. But this other one, these 3/8 bars, it will not. So if I take this little tiny wedge, which is nothing more than an old drawer glide, you know, that just kind of, I don't even remember how these things work, but they go in like so. This one's bent a little, and so your drawers runs on this side, the side runs out here and the bottom runs here. I cut one in half, so I've got these little plastic wedges, and if I stick that in there and get it down far enough on both sides, see if I can get this side. This is going to be a little tighter here. Let's see if I can tighten this up and hold these bars tight. Feels like it's grabbing. That's good and solid. That's good and solid. I'm going to give that a pretty good snug fit. That's good. So now I've got plenty of room to add on extra bars here to get the length I need. And then I'll hook it up to my, and I'm going to make sure these are nice and tight. I'll hook it up to my circle cutting jig out there after I drill my hole, and I can make my cut. Now I've got to do the same thing with my pivot jig here. This was built for 20 millimeter rods, so I'm just taking some credit card shim, one piece in each side, and that should give me enough to boost, take up that space, and then this will positively lock on it. Yep. Beautiful. That's locked. Now I just need to dial in my my width of cut. I'm so happy that I got this figured out, because I didn't want to make a special jig just for this. I'm going to get a couple clamps to keep these together, drill my hole, and we'll get ready to rock and roll here. Alright, here's my setup. I'm going to use these aluminum extrusions to get this up off my work table. And then these wooden spacers or stops. There are some new stops that I made that are designed to work with 40 by 80 millimeter extrusions. These are 40 by 100. So instead of them going this way, I'm going to wait. And I could probably do that. Let me change this one. Hang on. While I think about it. Yeah, I can do this. So I'll change these out and slide them down. This will keep my panels off the extrusion and allow me to cut through. And I've got these spaced so that they land out here in this area. Hope you can see what I'm pointing to here. Outside the circle, basically, out here. And then in the middle, but I'm going to put them just inside the circle here. So these will land out here in this area. These will be supporting the joint in the middle. And then I'm going to have this one dead center to hold the pivot jig. Keep that from moving around. I think I should be okay. I think there'll be enough support all the way around that way. Alright, I got this thing clamped 6 ways to Sunday here. The workpiece is clamped in 2 places up on top to keep it from sliding. It's clamped as one piece with 2 long Bessie clamps. And then these extrusions that it's sitting on top are clamped underneath to my workbench to keep them from moving. So nothing is going to move. And that's not going to move. So I don't want, you don't want to happen is as you start working with the router, that vibration causing things to migrate. So I'm in good shape that way. Well, it worked out really nice. That's a nice cut. I'll measure the diameter after I get things off of here, but I'm very pleased with the way it turned out here. Well, I don't know if that's lucky or good, but I am dead nuts. 54 inches. Beautiful. Well, let's see if we can get it apart. I think what I'll do is just go right to the middle there. Boy, that is really close. Really close to being absolutely 2 perfect halves. I mean, I'm just off a fraction out here. Wow. Nice. Now, before I go, when I locate these pins into the one side, I'm going to shorten them up. They'll only be about 1/4 of an inch long. I don't want all of this pin, I don't want it in that deep, even though the hole is that deep. I'm going to make sure I cut these back, taking off about probably 3/8 of an inch or a good 1/4 off of these pins so that I don't have all that registration inside. Once I get my hardware to couple these together, my table leaf hardware, these are nothing more than to align the edges and keep it flat. So that's it. take these out for now. Just before I go, you can see the support system that I had here. That worked out really well. These blocks were positioned just in the right spot, and then these two blocks were closer to the center to start. I should have had them a little further out, but it still worked out good. I should say it worked out really well.